So I'm Matt, and now we have our mics on. Welcome to Couch Deep Convos.
Yeah, we forgot about the main thing, the sound.
Can you dive in?
Yeah, 100%.
So on tonight's topic, in episode 2,
Yeah,
we are sitting
yeah.
at. So we'd had a bit of a think about it during the week, and we wanted to dive into a bit of mental health. And in that topic, we wanted to talk about suicide in men and women. I'll read off some stats just to give some context and framework, I guess, about how large the problem is at the moment, and more so how much it's increasing. So 3,300 deaths per year. This is in Australia for suicide.
Yeah.
Now that's for men and women. 75% men, 25% women. So that breakdown equals 63 per day. Australians are committing suicide. The part that I didn't realise was every decade that goes up somewhere in between 18 to 20%. So it is going to keep increasing next year, potentially another 1%, 2% every year. So this number isn't going backwards.
No.
It's the leading cause, and this is one thing that I did not know, it's the leading cause of death for men under 45 years.
Yep.
Now, that's something I was very, very unaware of. The next stat is something that I did not know about. 1 in 6 people contemplate suicide. It drops away a little bit for people who are planning suicide, which I haven't gone into that in tonight. But that equals 33 million people thinking about suicide in Australia. That's a fucking huge problem. And the fact that it's going up and it's a leading cause of death for men under 45 is something that I had no idea.
What is it, 3.3 million?
3.3 million people are thinking about suicide.
Wow.
In our country.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. And 3 out of 4 of those suicides that are committed are done by men, right?
Yep. So it's 75% men, 25% women. And I wasn't sure of the breakdown of that either, but combined 63 people per day.
Wow.
And that's only getting larger and larger each year. So there's an Australia-wide problem that's going on that probably isn't, I don't think there's enough framework and enough discussion and enough planning and positive planning being put out to the people so that people are skilled enough to deal with suicide prevention. And it's like, and it begs the question, it's like, well, what do you do as an individual if one of your friends comes to you and says, I'm struggling, and in your friendship group that person's going, that he's down at the moment? It's like, well, what do you do? And there isn't a clear, real framework out there of this is the plan, and everyone around knows that this is what we are doing. And, as a country, it's put out there and it's discussed, and you're implementing that, and everyone kind of knows we're moving this direction and this is how we address it in terms of bell curving these numbers down. Because
it's an epidemic.
Well, it's the biggest problem for men under 45.
Yeah, the highest.
There is no higher problem
leading
than
cause
that.
of death. It's crazy to think about that.
Yeah, so I look at that and like, why is there a gap between the information that people need to support that individual? I can't speak for the individual because I'm not in the space of being the 1 in 6, right? So thinking about, well, where do people go and what do they do if it pops up that somebody is struggling with mental health and you may not know also. So we're only thinking along the lines of that person has spoken up. And what we do know is a lot of people don't speak up. So there's an issue in itself, but you can only work with your known knowns and what you actually can do. So when everyone's well aware that there's a problem, what do we actually do as a group and how do we move? And I think there's just a million questions around that right now. And even me, myself, I'm like, well, if it happens, what do you do? Like, what's your plan?
Well, I think reaching out to begin with, like if you've got a group of people that are friends with one person, just check up on people and say, you know, how are you? How you been?
Yeah.
There's signs there. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes you don't know if someone's struggling or going through something. I think it's like it's a really big problem these days amongst obviously the youth and younger people, not just the youth, but under 45s especially. What is the core? What is the root of it? I mean, there's a lot of questions there, but then it's going just to the simple things of what can you do as an individual to help another person when they are struggling. You know, what can you do? Sometimes it's just as simple as being there for someone and reaching out and being a support system and listening to what they have to say and just showing someone that you are there for them. Because a lot of the time people don't realize, or they think that not only do they have no one, but that they're some sort of a liability or a nuisance even. That's the problem. People kill themselves because they think that they're not worth anything, or not
Well,
only
the world's a better place without them.
Without them, yeah. Like no one's going to give a fuck when they're dead. That's what people think, which is a complete lie.
Well, it's in fact the opposite. I mean, you see somebody going through a tough time, and then you'll know that their core group is there. But then you go to a funeral, and there might be 1,000 people there. That person was just unaware of the amount of love and support and care, and how much he or she will be missed.
Yeah, that really shows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you're at a funeral and you see that. And no problem that you're going through is a permanent problem either. Everything can be overcome. At the time it feels permanent, but everything that you are going through can always, and it always does, I believe, have a silver lining. Like you can always overcome something. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you better. And suicide is a permanent decision to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Which you hear people say, but it is true. And it's fucking easy to say that sometimes when maybe people don't understand what you're going through. It does feel, it's usually isolating. That's the core of it as well. People feel so isolated and they're like, no one's going to understand what I'm dealing with. Like this is specific to me and no one else has dealt with this before, or people won't understand.
Yeah.
Or like I'm a bad person or this or that or whatever the fuck it is. People feel things that so many of us are so similar that we don't even understand. Like we share so many similar issues and insecurities. But the problem is they think it's unique to them, like they're stuck.
Yeah. And I think with how connected we are now versus 10, 15, 20 years ago without the internet, like your family and friends are only, you know, you can literally open up your phone and engage with your family and friends. You would have to go and be in their presence to get support. And now it's very easy, but it seems like we're even more disconnected now. The ability for someone to put their hand up and say, I'm fucking battling and I need everyone around me to help me. Like, I can't see people doing that and saying, I don't want to be here. Can all of my friends help me at once? That what I just said then is not practical. So it's like, okay, well, how as individuals, because we're not going to get, my point is we're not going to be given a plan to fix this as a collective, but it is a collective problem.
Yes. Yeah.
So as individuals, when this pops up and somebody is not going, well, like, what are the options? Like, and I kind of think that if somebody one of your mates puts his hand up and says, I'm not going well, your friends automatically, and the family around, and this is privy to people who have support networks, I understand some people just don't. And that's that's a problem in itself. But for the ones that do, and any support, whether it's small 1, 2, 3, 4 people, that when this pops up, that one person in the group needs to be like, I'm in charge of this, and with permission, and I'm going to rally all of my friends around and this person's friends and their community, and support until this person can essentially support themselves in a happy and healthy life. Without having to rely on other people, but you're going to see it through together, and you're going to make sure that you're on the journey together to get to what would be somewhat of a finish line. But I see too many times, you know, you might hear it you might catch up with some friends and be like, how's such and such going? They're like, oh, not too bad. I don't think they're going too good. And that's 3 to 6 months in between catch ups.
Mm.
But I mean, if it's treated as a life or death situation, which clearly it is,
Mm.
then everyone in that person's network needs to take charge of that and take some responsibility, because this person at the moment just can't care for themselves,
Yeah.
and may not see the way out.
Mm.
So if everyone's there and everyone's buying in, and I'm not talking about taking shifts at the person's house, that may be required as well. And if that's in front of you, then you do that. But those simple check-ins, taking the person to the gym, and it might be the next night is somebody's calling up, and you're all in it together and you're all checking in on each other to make sure that you're all giving that person the level of support that they need.
Mm-hmm.
If you are genuinely friends with them, I think that's such a good collective idea, and you all keep each other accountable to it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I think finding activities or things you can do with people that will uplift them, like it's so easy, and so many men do it, including myself in the past. It's an easy way sometimes to escape if you go to the pub, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that or whatever, or you go and people go into escapism, for example, or drug use or whatever, in order to, you can share that with a group of people, for example, like, people can be there with you and you can be doing the same thing, and it's an escape, and it's, it feels like it's fixing your problems temporarily. But long term, it's obviously creating more problems. It's like, what can be the structure you can build with someone? It can be as simple as like just a step-by-step thing where you go on a walk with someone, or you go to the gym with someone, or you God, there's a plethora of things you can do that can help uplift someone, and it's one step leads to another step leads to another step, which then, slowly you can get back on your feet and you can find some sort of a floor you can build yourself up from.
But you're letting them know that I'm in it with you.
Mhm. Yeah.
So there's just an accountability towards each other, that you're going to be there and you're going to support that person no matter what, and like verbalizing that I'm here with you
Yeah.
for this whole journey
Yeah.
together.
Got each
And
other's
if you have
back.
more and more people that are in that loop with permission,
Mm.
and that person's support group is just as large as it possibly can be. It doesn't have to be super large, but as large as it possibly can be. It's definitely a good starting point.
Yeah.
As a means without having therapy or medication or those sort of things, because as friends you can't control that. You can only be you can only do so much with that person. So staying within those kind of boundaries and framework, because it's such a, like, your shot selection, I think when it pops up, everyone's just got these question marks on, fuck, how do I help?
Yeah.
How do I help, and am I doing enough?
Yeah. Sometimes the best way as well, I think, in life, a good start is sometimes the help you need. The best way to get that is by helping someone else. Like, even if you're struggling sometimes yourself with your own things, it's sometimes good to go out and give someone else that same help, because it starts a cycle.
Yeah.
And also, life's funny in that way. You get back what you give in life, and you can go all the way back to the fabric of what makes a good society, and whatever, but without even going to that, you just start with yourself. And you need something, go out and be a friend to someone else. If you need a friend, go be a friend to someone else. Take that step, be that person that goes out and breaks the cycle.
Yeah.
Because people are stuck in cycles as well, and you can go out with courage and boldness and stand out and break a cycle by being that person, and you don't have any idea the ripple effect that can have.
Yeah.
And the big change you can have, like, without even trying to do that. It starts in your own house, in your own backyard, in your own community. Be that person, go out there, and regardless of how you've been treated, sometimes life can make you cynical because people treat you in a certain way, but to just stand above that and say, I'm going to treat you well, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to do this, and that can be, I think, a great way to start this, or with people in general, in communities, in friendship groups, whatever.
It helps a good ideology of community, of people helping each other. Like we are, like I said before, we are pretty connected at the moment in terms of being online, but which means we're further disconnected physically. Like I don't know, like, any of my neighbors really that well. But when I was growing up, I knew all the first names and last names of every single house member on the street. and you could go over there without your parents' permission and actually like go and talk to them. You knew everyone really well.
Yeah.
But I think what came around in my eyes in the last 5 years is that check-in.
Yeah.
And it might sound a bit cliche at the moment when you say check in with your mates, and it's big over the last 5 years. It's fucking massive in my mind. And before that, it was quite odd if you were to ring up one of your mates and be like, "I'm just checking in. Is everything all good?" Be like, "Fuck me, is everything all good?" Like, yeah, it's fine. That's what your knee-jerk reaction probably would be.
People would have been like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
But now it's so okay.
Yeah.
And that there is a gap closer for the silent killer of mental health, those people who don't speak up. So if you imagine, somebody's not going well, an individual, and they are getting messages during the week of somebody actually just checking in and saying, "You're all right, how you going?" That's a great segue for that person to then say, "Fuck, I'm actually not going that well. Like these things have happened.
Yeah.
Might be psychological or circumstantial, don't know. But without those friends actually checking in, which I believe is a new thing, well, I know it is, you wouldn't have that platform."
No. Yeah. I think it was around probably it really increased around COVID because people were separated with their workplace. Like you were working from home and it was a physical thing that you could literally see that, oh, that person's by themselves. Whereas some people are isolated and they're around heaps of people.
Yeah.
But at least that sort of brought people to a place where like, okay, there's people are going to be struggling. They're going to be lonely for long extended periods of time and, check up on them, see if they're okay. And that's gone into workplaces a lot now as well.
Yeah.
Offices and corporate environments anywhere. Like, whereas I don't think it was really accepted before. It wasn't something you would see in a workplace. Not like.
And like you would know this, I could ask you this, because I know my answer. If you get a message from a friend or a family and they're like, "Hey, how's things going?" You're like, "Oh, good." But then they actually ask you, like, "Are you all right? How's things going?" I just generally want to know, "Hey, how are you?" They kind of dive beneath the surface a little bit. Like, you enjoy that?
Oh, absolutely. It goes a long way.
It is great.
Awesome.
Out of nowhere, one of your mates text you and be like, "Hey, bro, how you actually going?" And you know that they're not just saying, "How's things?"
They actually
They're going,
mean it.
"Yep."
They're asking, "How are you?"
Yep.
And there's nothing attached to it other than asking
And it
about
works.
you. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Goes a long way. I can generally say it works. Like from personal experience, like it's absolutely great. I remember when it was in 2023. It was football preseason, and my brother had passed away, and so I was going to football training in the football community there at Barnheads. Like the players definitely, but more importantly, coaches. Like when I would run laps, they would basically each of them would come over and say, "Hey, how's things?" And I knew they just genuinely cared. But at the time, I had a lot going on with my mum. She had just gone into a coma, and we weren't sure whether she was going to make it or not. So I was quite torn between a few different things. And I was driving up to Melbourne in the morning to see mum, and then I was driving back, and then I'd go to footy training. Then I'd finish that, and then I'd get up to the 8:30, the very last visit, and then drive back home. And I was doing that. And I remember one time I was running a lap, and I went past. It was Garves and Sammy Schaller, and they just both kind of said to me, like, and they wanted to check in with me, like, "Hey, how's things? Like, let us know how you're going." And just kind of brushed it off. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm right. And then I got around the other side, and I bumped into Schaller again. And then he was like, "Hey, how's things?" And I remember he just looked at me and like leaned in. He didn't want me to say, "Hey, how's things going?" He wanted me to open up a bit and say, actually let him know how I was feeling. And when he asked me that, which was kind of the second time, I just broke down and started crying. And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm fucked." And I actually didn't realize it at the time. I was like, I need a week or so off football if I can. And 10 minutes before that, when I was running my lap and getting changed, I didn't know. And then he just asked me and kind of just dived in. It was like a whole of 30 seconds of him just, just leaning in, and I'm just training on the sidelines, just crying. But it's that second, I think, and that's what I was talking about before with the check-in. I think it's the thorough intention behind it if you can push it, and it doesn't mean asking twice, just means really genuinely leaning in. I think that gives people the opportunity in the space to then say, fuck, I might not be. Or it prompts them to circle back and think about their response, not just a throwaway comment.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's crazy because those situations and those times when people do, you always remember them and you realize how impactful it was. Someone going out of their way to, reach out when you're in those moments and in those times when it's fucking very difficult. Life is hitting you from all angles and does huge things for you. Like, yeah.
It gives people an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it gives them an opportunity to lead into a space that can help them thinking a little bit more positive and diving into how they're actually feeling.
I think it's definitely with social media as well. Like I'm noticing a lot more people and the younger generation as well are a lot more aware of it. Whereas there was definitely like a gap in generations and probably before social media where it just wasn't normal. Like you wouldn't talk about how you're feeling. Like you weren't raised like that either. Like you just wouldn't.
It wasn't shamed either.
No.
It definitely wasn't shamed. You just didn't do it.
No, and not at all. And like I think that's sort of the cycle is breaking, and that's how you can break the cycle of it as well as by intentionally going out and changing things. But like we were saying before, but with someone growing up with with a dad who might not have been able to share his emotions well, and then he passes that on to his son, and then keeps going. Sometimes we don't even know how to do that. Like we haven't been equipped with that skill, or it even feels a bit uncomfortable to begin with.
Yeah.
But once you do it, it unlocks something. That's why sometimes just getting out of your comfort zone a bit and doing that thing. Sometimes I really have noticed in my own life when there's that gap where you feel like, fuck, I don't want to do that, or it's like there's something pulling you back from doing that. It might be as simple as that day going to the gym. And it's just so much easier to just fucking sit on the couch or whatever it is you're doing. It's cold outside, you don't want to do it, but it's that feeling there that if you start saying to it, no, I'm gonna do that, it builds a resilience. And it's the same thing with approaching people and calling people and texting people or whatever it is with the hey, how are you? With the same idea behind it. I think like you can do huge things. And I really do believe though that people are more aware of it now, but people just feel like, fuck, what do you do? Because it's a case by case thing sometimes.
Yeah, it's huge question marks over how do you jump into the plan, and what the fuck is the plan?
Yeah.
What are we all going to do together? And I mean, that's why like I really wanted to talk about it tonight and put some ideas out there. And I think demanding somebody's absolute health, be like, how are you? Like, I really want to know. Can you give me it all top to bottom? Like, I need to know. Like trying to pull that and subtract that from someone.
Yeah.
So that you do know, and it gives them a platform.
Yeah.
Because if you check in with someone and you're like, hey, how are you going? It's very fucking closed off to be able to answer that with volume of bad things or negativity or how far back you might be coming from. But it's like, I need to know how you're going. Can you give me the whole lot? I want it all. And like, I don't even think I've been asked that, but I would like, you would welcome that, and you'd be like, okay, I've got permission here to say a heap of things that are on my mind or not making me feel great.
Yeah.
And then you've got soundboard, and soundboard is fucking cool.
Yeah. For me personally, I like just having a laugh as well, like with people, I think they say laughter's the best medicine, and it's as simple as that. Sometimes just getting with someone, cheering them up, having a laugh, whatever the fuck it could be about, just, having a laugh, having a good time, taking your mind off something. It could be as simple as that with someone even before you cut through, like, because everyone's got a different communication style. I think being direct with it is very important, but for some people, you can just start off with, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, just go and organize something with them and go and do something, have a laugh, talk, have a chat, whatever. Be there for them. Let someone open up in their own time if that's how they want to do it, or
And I think like just circling back to, if this does pop up, it's like, okay, we're at square one
Mm.
with a person. Talking to them about those super, super basic things and like actually challenging them on, are you doing all these things really well right now? You're
Mm.
giving yourself best opportunity to succeed and best opportunity to feel good and to feel healthy. Like really challenging them, like, are you eating healthy right now?
Mhm.
Like, are you getting enough rest? Has that been an issue?
Mhm.
Have you been making sure that you're doing your exercise? You always used to love exercise. You were
Mhm.
there 4 days a week or whatever that may be for the individual. It could be activity based. Have you got good relationships at the moment with your friends, family, and partner? Are you making sure that you're connecting with your mates that usually help you out?
Mm.
Have you got, we can only talk from a man's perspective, but have you got goals?
Mm.
And are you striving to achieve them, and what are they? I mean, if someone is struggling, there's some really, really good things that you can work with on your friend and making sure that they're tripling down on things
Mhm.
because they're all very, very basic things that can be done. And for the majority of them, they're free.
Tangible as well, like
Yeah,
they're physical things you can do.
yeah. And
Like,
they will go a long
yeah,
way.
definitely.
And the reason why I think of them
Mm.
is because I know that if tomorrow what was taken away from me, if somebody said to me that I had to eat really bad food, I was going to get less sleep, I wasn't allowed to train tomorrow, and then I couldn't connect with like family, which I love trying to talk to on a daily basis. Um, if four of those things were just ruled out and they weren't getting done well, then I know I wouldn't be happy.
Mhm.
Like I would slide, and
Mhm.
I'm very grateful that I'm always mentally very, very, very happy and very lucky.
Mhm.
Um, but those things come to mind, and you could challenge your friend on that
Mm.
and be like, let's break these down, and can we work together on getting all these things done as best as humanly possible right now? And
Mhm.
it's not, you know, solving the world, but it's, can we make a start together and let's start doing these things?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's important for men to come together, especially now more than ever as well, just with um, building on that as well. It's like a lot of the weight and the stress, I think the root of a lot of feeling unworthy and not good enough or like you're a burden is, when life hits you hard with problems and issues and maybe you're not exactly where you want to be at that point.
Mm.
You got to zoom out sometimes and look at the bigger picture, which is really hard to do. But like, as a man, I think your values, and it's just a fact, society gives you a certain value and it's based around how useful you are as a person. So it's like, as a man, men are problem solvers. So what are you doing in your life right now for your own self-confidence that makes you feel worthy or that makes you feel like you're within your purpose? And sometimes the bigger picture is you are heading to a certain destination and goal, but you just haven't got there yet. And maybe the hardship you're going through right now is a piece of the puzzle to get to the end goal, to where you're going to be able to help other people, or you're going to be able to serve others, or you're going to be able to fulfill that destiny or goal. So like struggle and hardship is a part of the process sometimes, and just to have that reaffirmed to you sometimes with others
Mm.
around you who are going through their own process, it's like really beneficial for me personally. Like when I've sat down and you sit down and someone might be on a different journey to you, but there's a lot of similarities there, with things that we all struggle with and go through. And it's like, we are going to get there, we are going to make it. You might just be in a really difficult period right now, but there is a finish line to it, or there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you just got to hold on and keep going. And if you can have people near you that support you in those times, that's
I like that analogy of the
mm,
missing piece of the puzzle.
yeah,
Like
it's
it could
hard
be something
sometimes.
that you need to go through, and you're almost forced to go through,
Hmm.
which is gonna, it's like diamonds are
Exactly.
formed under pressure. Um, yeah, I enjoyed hearing that. That was
Mm.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, bro, definitely. Like that's everything. And I don't think people are told that enough. It's like sometimes your biggest struggles are literally what are going to make you the best person you can be.
Yeah. That's the
Like,
coolest way to think about it, isn't it?
yeah, and it's true. Like you're going to become great if you keep going.
Yeah.
Like that hardship sometimes is a blessing, and it's something that is there for you to learn from and grow from. Like sometimes the harder things you go through shows the bigger potential you have as a person, because you're going to be given things in life that you can handle and you can overcome if you keep going, you
Yeah,
know?
it's brilliant. All right, well, that's another episode done and dusted for us at Couch Deep Combos. If you like what you see, click the like button and subscribe. If you don't, that's okay as well. You don't have to.
Still leave a comment if you don't, because that's also going to help us. But if you did enjoy this, please give us a follow, as Matt said, and give it a like. And we appreciate you guys watching right now. And
Love the support. And if you take anything away from tonight, what we spoke about earlier with mental health, checking in on your friends, really having a good conscious chat with them and about how they're going and how you can help. And then just reminding them that they are worthy and that you're always going to support them.
definitely, absolutely. Pick the phone up, whatever, send a message, check in on.
Look after your mates.